Oh, take two. We've got comments again. Thanks, YouTube. Oh my God. About time this started. Right, Verns, we're going to wait for people to jump back in the chat, mate. But this is the second part of Raise Trade Mondays. And this is going to be dedicated to all the people that stuck around, that were here for us when we couldn't have any comments. Now, there's not many people here right now, which is terrible. But to everyone that was here, thank you so much for sticking by us and actually, stating that something was up. So who knows what happened? I don't know what happened. If you've got any questions, please drop them by. I think we answered all of them that we could before. But Verns, we might as well just do a seedy little special edition of what we're thinking this week. I'm going to let you start because and I don't want to rub this in, but I do need to get another drinky drink. Your team sounds to be in a little bit more hot water than mine currently.
Yeah, look, it definitely is. I hope everyone can see this fly that's decided to jump into my room.
Yeah, that's sorry good. Before you continue, I'm going to grab a drink. You just go for it, mate. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Go ahead. Well, look, guys, my trade-wise, as I mentioned, I have the big three that are... my goodness. I have the big three that are all just out this week. I'm going to hold McRae. I want Whitfield guaranteed. Like, I'm just going to make moves, get Whitfield, no questions asked. After that, I'm questioning. I think maybe I go Sinclair as well. I mean, SCOBES not wrong at the end of the day. As much as I'm looking at maybe a Tom Green, it's like Sinclair is perfectly viable, the play in the mid. As long as that guy is just like top 10 super coach full stop, it doesn't actually matter what role, even just defense mid, as long as he's like top 10 between them, it doesn't matter. So I think I'll go Sinclair in, Whitfield in, which then, and then Cooper Simpson. They're probably the trades I'll go for. So Callahan out, Horn Francis out, and then I can go anyone out to Cooper Simpson. So I might get rid of some dead wood, maybe move some Hustwaite out, and then bring in Cooper Simpson with some DPP that way. But yeah, I guess that's what I'm thinking. What about you, Scopes?
So I missed all that. Can you give me a quick summary?
Callahan, Horn Francis out for Sinclair, Whitfield, and then probably Cooper Simpson. Just a matter of which rookie I move to Cooper Simpson.
So Callahan, Horn
JHF,
Francis.
Yep. Sinclair and Whitfield. That's really the main gist of it. I decided to take on board what you said, and like as much as I could look at like a Green or something like that, Sinclair's he's good enough just to play in the midfield. So why would I ignore him?
No, well, as my initial plan was, I was looking at Geordie Clark, and then I was looking at Noah Anderson, and it was going to be long out. Cleary out to Simpson, and then one of Geordie Clark or Anderson in for long. Then the Jason Horn-Francis issue happened, and I was like, well, that doesn't affect me. All right, sweet. Don't really care. And then the news broke about McRae, and I was like, oh, that's really annoying. Like, if it's just a back issue, like, is that just a 1 weeker? Like, backs can be terrible. And now it's a punctured lung. And I was so vocal, literally, 15 minutes ago, that there's no, if he misses 1 week, I'll happily cop that. Happily cop it. And I'll trade him back in. That's fair. But I'm adamant. It's a punctured lung. How on earth... Well, firstly, how on earth do you have a punctured lung without any kind of other issues? I don't understand that at all. So something else has got to be going on. On top of that, which part of the body is going to be under the most duress and stress in a game of football? It's not a finger that you can tape up like Tanner Bruin, who is magically still TBC. It's not a toe that you can tape to the other one. It's not an ankle you can strap. This is a lung. Every contest you go to as a contested inside mid is going to put stress on it. Like
Yeah,
if you move left, right, you go straight, forward, back. You try and chase that fly like what you're doing right now. You're going to put stress on that lung, that area. So, like regardless, he's not going to be as what he once was. It's going to take time. I reckon if he's back in 1 week, I'll be shocked. And as I said, I'll trade him back in. But I reckon he's back after the bye, happy to ditch. So at this point in time, I'm currently on Geordie Clark. Um, and it's purely because of the break even. Like a break even in the 50s, he scores what he normally scores, 100 plus. He goes up 22K. I wanted to be on Whitfield because I just love him. Love him. Best role in the game. Like, it's insane. So dirty on myself that I didn't start him. But in saying that, like, Whitfield has a break even of 120. I understand that he's probably going to eclipse that against, the Auskick team in Carlton. That's perfectly fine. But it's about the money that Clark is going to make and the value that he's going to be at. Like, right now, McRae to Geordie Clark banks literally 130K. Next week, that could either be like long to any premium, basically, with another downgrade. And that's just too good to pass up. So that's where I'm at the moment. But the way that this week's going, like, I hope to God there's no other issues. But Monday night, we've had Horn Francis is already gone. McRae's already gone. You've lost Callahan. Flynn's in doubt as well with a shoulder. We don't know anything about that. So, like, what? Like, you've just got to have so many avenues. So many avenues. Like, there was a story released today by Josh Gabelich that said that Newcomb got off the plane from Darwin in a moon boot. Now, I own Newcomb, and he has been, like, less than fantastic. But it also states in the article that he's not in any doubt. So I'm not worried there at all. But when I did read it that Newcomb was in a moon boot, I literally, oh my God. At first I was happy because then I get to trade him, but then I realized I've actually got to trade on him. So that was a little bit difficult to stomach.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm lucky enough that I still have a boost. I'm sure this week is going to hurt a lot of people that maybe don't have a boost at this stage, because then you can only use 2 trades. Cooper Simpson feels like a must-have rookie, and most of us, if not everyone, should basically have JHF and McRae at minimum, with a few of us having a couple of others as well, which makes it really hard. So if you're blessed to still have a boost, at least that can help a bit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Are you locking your trades in now? Like, you're happy with it? If the round was to start in 24 hours, you'd be happy with them? Or are you still tinkering a little bit undecided?
Oh, look, I love always checking out the cheeky options that are available to us, but I think I'd actually lock this in. Good to go.
You are a dirty man for a pod pick. Is there any, like, that are just that obvious to you? Like, if you didn't have all these injuries, is there any player that you're like he was the one?
Yeah, I mean, you mean a pod or just any player across the game?
No, a pod, a pure pod.
Pure pod. Look, there's none that I look at and go, he's the one. There's definitely some good options, though. I was talking about it when you weren't here, obviously. But I love the look of what obviously Green's doing. Libba's actually been flying under the radar insanely good. Everyone thought Bonk coming back would affect that. Obviously,
Yeah.
Treloar came back and then disappeared. But yeah, he's at a 118 average and he's still priced at 560, which is insane. Like, that's one of the best averages in the game, and he's still cheap as chips. So I love the look of Libba. Obviously, he has his buy coming up in round 12, though, so you probably don't get him until afterwards. You're not going to get him right now. But yeah, they're probably the 2 that stick out to me.
Yep, perfect. Well, we're going to get to the reason why we started the stream again, because YouTube tried to shut you and I down, mate. But as we read before, just pure resilience by us. That's a hint for a pay rise, DR. Thank you. We're going to get on to the comments. Embit of Joel says, comments, unbelievable. We are free, mate. We do not let our fans down. Rookie coach, we are free. Absolutely, we are. He, honestly, I know I shouted out Supercoach Pro before, and he's a fantastic individual, but someone else who is just on par. A lovely human being. Does go for Geelong though, so I mean it does temper expectations. I mean you do have to talk to a Geelong supporter. We all don't like doing that, but please go and check out his channel. Does some amazing jobs, and I say it every single week. The name Rookie Coach does not do him justice because he's a fantastic individual, and he's 1,000 times better than the next bloke's comment that I'm going to read out, and that's my dear friend Mr. Cheese. He says that he's free. Well, there you go, mate. He is a fellow Newcomb owner. He was one of the ones that had to slap the VC on him, like me and like Rookie Coach. And I don't know if they took it, but I definitely did. I can't read out the next comment, but I did have a giggle at that, Mr. Embiid of Joel. And yes, it is good to be free. This is Joshy's mate from, I don't know, whatever it is, Doctor Who. I don't know if you're into that, Verns. You're more into the cartoonish pixels, I think. To say the McRae news has thrown a spanner in the works is an understatement. I 100% agree. Is that fair to say, Verns?
Oh, I mean, any injury throws a spanner in the works. Let's be honest, we're all planning our trades weeks in advance, and we're never accommodating for a highly owned premium to go out.
I don't know about you, but I don't plan my trades in advance. That's probably why I'm doing so badly. I might actually need to do that, and I'm very scared to check out my buy structure because that hasn't been looked at.
I'm all for not looking at buy structure in reality. Like, there's so many times you don't bring in a player because it's bad for your buy structure, or you bring in a player because it's good for your buy structure, and it's just not the right play. Like, the best year I ever had in Supercoach is I literally ignored buys, picked the players I thought were the best in the game, and it got me to a rank 300. I think we overcomplicate it when we think about the buy sometimes. Like, just pick the best players and it's going to work itself out.
So you're telling me if you pick the best players that score the most points,
I knew where you're going
do
with
well
this.
in this game.
Yeah, that's the hidden secret. Nobody else knows that.
Wow. Yeah, wowee. Hidden revelations around.
I just meant more of an eye test thing. Like, you see a good player with the eye test, just lock him in. Don't overcomplicate it.
Yep, no, understandable. Sportsnut129 thinking JHF, Cleary and Bice to Simpson, Nick Martin, and do you think Sarong, Heaney or Jordan Clark?
Clark. Are you questioning the Nick Martin trade-in? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I am.
Yep, I assumed so.
Do JHF, Cleary and Bice to Simpson, Heaney and Clark and thank me next week.
Damn, Heaney. Now that's a pod pick. I did touch on that earlier as well, but damn, spicy.
I don't think
there is a chance he may need a forward.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think it's fair to say there's no relevance to Heaney because I don't think that's accurate. It's just he hasn't been spoken about.
Oh, well, he hasn't been that good this year. That's why he hasn't been spoken about. He's been kind of under par for what we want. But I mentioned it earlier. This is what you want from players in reality. You want the players to start off slow, drop in cash, and then you pick them up and they go on a 120 average for the next 10 weeks to end the season. You know, like that's the most ideal situation. So could this be that moment with Heaney?
And it was so good to see him play his best game of the year against Carlton. It was fantastic. Jakey Sharp, shout out to you, legend. He says they're back. Yes, we are, mate. We do our best around here. Embed of Joel says, Vicentini more of a priority than Simpson for cash gen-wise?
Nope.
No.
Cash, like Simpson, 100% number one priority of the week, I think.
I agree. Rookie Coach says, no comments, felt like he was robbed right in front of him. Yeah, mate. I genuinely no idea how that happened. No clue. Emmett of Joel says, Vern's solo pod, finally.
MB, you need to come over to my YouTube channel then. I mean, I'm talking by myself all the time over
YouTube
there.
Channel?
You know it's just Vern Supercoach. That's simple, guys.
What was that? Sorry, I couldn't hear.
That's enough from you.
It's Vern's what? Vern's Supercoach. Okay. Yes. Perfect. Aqua says we can talk again. Wonderful. Jerbs, glad I could fix your tech issues, lad. Thanks, mate. Thanks for helping out as always.
There was a lot of people in those X chats giving you the heads up.
Oh, mate. I have PTSD when I go on Twitter. And you know when your notifications hits 20 and it goes 20 and the little plus sign? Oh, my God. Whenever that happens, it's usually because I've said something and a million people don't like it and they've just jumped on. And it's scary how often that happens.
Are you saying something people wouldn't like? I don't see that. I just don't see that.
Well, clearly they're wrong and I'm right. Clearly. Jakey Sharp says, thoughts, boys, out McRae, Cleary, and Elijah Hewitt in Anderson, Bolton, and Simpson.
I'd take it off.
I don't mind that. If Bolton's going to be your flex, surely. Verns, this is for you. Nanny? Is that like an extension of naan bread? I'm not too sure. Are those anime figures I see, Mr. Verns, what you got that you're most proud of?
Oh, mate. I mean, I have too many to say what I'm proud of, but yes, they're definitely what you can see. Bunch of haiku ones there, some JJK ones, and some Demon Slayer One Piece ones. That's just in the room, though. I got like 3 cabinets out in my lounge room with them, so yeah.
I'm gonna need Google Translate for that, mate.
Just for you, Gerbs. That's probably my favorite one in the room from Demon Slayer, so I hope you appreciate that one.
What on earth is that?
You know what? If you were cultured, you'd understand, SCOBES. Don't worry.
I've got no idea. Genuinely no clue, and I'm not even taking the PI55 here. I no clue what that is, but yeah. Luke Ryan Barrett says, were there any decent mid-year rookies in the last few years that made good amounts of cash? I think it's worth factoring in the mid-year draft into our plans. Yes. Verns, you highlighted Jai Newcomb. Unfortunately, I own that premium right now, and Sammy Durham. Campo named first emergency for Blues on the weekend due for a recall after Blues were dismantled by a premiership contender Swans. This bloke goes to the Swans. Oh my God. Oh my, just no. Every time West Coast play, without fail, before the game has ended, I get a question, and it's just Sandy Brock price projection, please. The amount of times I've had to tell him to shut up or go away is ridiculous. Aqua. Okay, so now that I can run my mouth again, I can hold McRae, but I'll have to hold Elijah Hewitt as well. Throw him to F7 and loop with Simpson, who I brought in last week. We'll bin Sardis instead. Oh my God, there's a flashback. Yeah, I'm all for that. It's clear that the coach doesn't know what to do. And this is a fantastic segue.
It's a really good loop.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just wanted to highlight every single Essendon player, every single Essendon fan that told me, oh, Sardis doesn't tackle enough. He doesn't run both ways. Doesn't get his hands dirty. Doesn't tackle. What did your captain do on the weekend?
Wow.
I'm waiting. Because I own that fraud as well. And he had how many tackles? The exact same as Sardis did in the game of AFL that Sardis didn't play in. Absolutely donuts. So don't you ever tell me again, this is because he doesn't tackle. Oh, my God. Oh, just derelict opinion. Oh, my God. Jono. Scope, it's Jono. How long are we keeping our boy long for? Titch coming back soon. Honestly, I reckon Ned Long's overtaken Tom Mitchell purely on the fact that Tom Mitchell played a half of football. A half. There's no way that he gets into that AFL side unless he's got a consistent 3 to 4 weeks of solid VFL minutes in him. Because that, Long is arguably one of the most important pieces of our midfield right now. And that's I know I've spoken some absolute BS saying that he's going 120 on the run home. But take away Supercoach perspective, and he is one of the most important pieces in that Collingwood midfield because no one else does what he does. And that's the grunt work, the tackling that unlocks, your crisp outside running, your Dakes, Josh Dacos as well, who runs through there. Then you've got Pendlebury, side bottom, who gets CBAs. If you really want to talk, DM me, mate, and we could go on for a long time, but I don't see him losing his spot for a while. Do you agree with that, Verns?
100%. We highlighted this when you were bringing him in sort of thing weeks ago, what he brought to our team, and he just keeps doing it week in and week out. So 100%.
Yep, absolutely. Jervs is in a bit of a conundrum with this one, Verns, and I know that you're his favourite human, like literally in the entire world. So he's not too sure whether to use his last boost or not. 20 trays left, 30k banked. JHF, McRae, Levi, Hall, Hewitt, the consideration. He wants Simpson in and maybe Dunks, but Horn Francis and McRae surely have to go. Well,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Look, I think it is a good week to be using that last boost. We go into the bye weeks for what, 5 weeks after this, meaning we have 3 trades a week for the next 5 weeks after this. So unless you're holding the boost for after the buys, which at that point in time, what if you've only got 5-6 trades left, you're probably not using a boost in a round. Let's be honest, you're probably holding those trades. This is almost the last opportunity, if not the perfect opportunity, to be using your last boost. So unless you wanted like 4 trades in the buys or something, but yeah, I think pop that boost. Yeah, bring in Simpsons, bring in Dunks, that's fine. And then bring in someone else. Bring in Sinclair, bring in Tom Green. Go nuts.
I completely agree. Completely agree. Cheese wants to know, how does the Spud Newcomb have on a moon boot? Oh my, I don't know, but you should see the DMs or the chat that I'm in with this fella and a couple of others. When Newcomb starts sputting it up, it gets volatile real quick.
Yeah, Scopes forgot to mention he was wearing it as a hat, not actually on his foot.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. Dead set. Johnny Noble is a pod. Verns, you're answering this. You're the pod guru.
Ooh, honestly, he's someone that's flying under the radar. And defenders are really good this week. Yeah, I reckon if you're hot for Noble, go for it.
What do you see him averaging, like from now until the back end of the year?
Look, he's actually playing at a good enough level, but also just like he goes so hard. Like great role, good, like playing really well. And Gold Coast love to use him. Like he is not underused at all. I could see probably between the 105 to 110, I could see him doing that. I think he generally could. That's what his recent form has shown, and it always takes players a little bit of time to get used to a new club, a new way it works. I understand he's only on a 101 right now, but I think he could go for as high as maybe let's say 108 at his heights, but I think he's probably 100 safe at minimum. So I think at minimum getting a safe pick that could be a nice little pod that outscores some of these other defenders. So
wonderful. Kev, shout out to you, mate. You always tune in. G'day, boys. Simpson is a priority for cash gen. Absolutely. He's going to trade one of Callahan and McRae this week and the other next. What do you think? You trade Callahan this week because McRae you can literally use his last game loop.
Yeah, 100%. Sounds good.
Verns, that fly does not like you, mate.
Oh, mate, I cannot believe it's in here. Like, wow.
Robbie Senior, I have so many dead or underperforming rookies, and now JHF McRae injured. Newcomb came home in a moon boot with ankle injury and mistraining. Yeah, but apparently he's going to be fine. I'd be shocked if he missed. But yeah, we're all in the same boot there. Is that like in reference to FIFA Ultimate Team? Because I haven't played that in years. Rank these players in priority for keeping: Lashcroft, Trainer, Hewitt, and Cleary. I think it's Lashcroft, Trainer, Hewitt, Cleary.
I like the sound of that. I haven't actually had a look at Trainer at all, but obviously his role's been pretty good at Tigers. Yeah, I think that sounds good to me. I'd be happy with that.
I love when you tick things off, Ferns. Aqua, I'm fine for cash anyway. I have about 130k to spare with the Finn, Hewitt to Green, Dante trade, so we'll have 50, 60k to spare for plans. Given a 570k budget, if you could choose one def or mid, who?
I think we liked Sinclair, but I mean, I'm not going to speak for you, sorry. I like Sinclair. I think, yeah, Sinclair will be the one guy.
Yeah, I'd go Sinclair or Tom Green / Noah Anderson.
Yeah, no, I love that. I was going to say, I guess if you already have Sinclair, then Green. So, yeah, like that.
Yep. Embed says, wait, I thought owning Newcomb was a piss take. Up there with having Goldie. No, I own Newcomb, but I don't own Goldie. Thank God. Logs. Oh. No, mate, you are employed by us now. You've got it for 2 months straight, bang on the nose, early every single week. But he says, hey, boys, I don't know if I can deliver Blues news. Think I need a break from this joke of a club. Oh, that fills me with so much happiness that you've admitted it. Bryson Hewitt to Simpson and Heaney for me at the moment, holding McRae for now. If you can hold McRae and you're happy with it, then you clearly don't own JHF or Callahan. And, yep, go for it. Is that fair?
Yeah, 100%. I think with these, we're not going to tell people to not do what you want to do with your team at the end of the day, unless it's like straight up ridiculously bad sort of thing, like bringing in Goldstein. So
yeah. Aqua says he's got all the usuals. He's got Sinclair, Dunkley, Real, and Rosie. All right, go Anderson or Green. Yep.
I like Green personally.
This one's aimed at you, Verns. Your number
Oh,
one
I know.
fan.
I laughed at it when I saw it when he put it out.
Yeah, no, he's not happy with you, mate. So, response. Corey Wagner shout from a few weeks ago by Verns has truly gone down the gurgler.
Yeah, look, that's what happens with these pod picks. You either look like a genius or you look like a fool. And the week I said that I think Wagner's a good pick, he went ahead and tagged Dacos and did absolutely nothing on the Supercoach side of things. And then, hasn't really done much after that either. So, yeah.
Bobby Senior says, forced to keep dead rookies and just sideways trade. No boost left. The original plan was to trade out JHF and Hewitt for Jackson Simpson. It's all turning upside down now. If you can hold one of them and trade the next week, then I'd do that. But I am so big on if you just you can't afford to fall that far behind. If you've got no loop, if you can loop a rookie for say a 70, then hold McRae. Trade JHF and then bring your Simpson in and the other premium. That's my opinion on that. But I don't know what your team's like, mate.
Yeah, exactly. And make sure to check how you're set up for that round 13 bye, because you don't want to bring in Jackson if you've already got, let's say, Brayshaw, Sinclair, who are the good players? Jordan Clark is one, Sarong, things like that. You don't want to overstack that buy. As much as it's the easy buy, you don't want to give up a huge week because you own too many players on it. So,
Great. Aqua, thinking either Sarong, Clark, Green, Anderson. Maybe I'm missing someone. I just spent 4 weeks screaming Noble Pod just to not bring him in at 450k, but it might be too high at 515. So now get rid of the name Noble, and whichever player you feel the exact same way about Noble, whichever one it is now, get that player in. Don't just get Anderson or Green because we're telling you to. If you feel strongly about Clark or Sarong, go with them. Simple as that.
Yeah, 100%. We just said it before. At the end of the day, we're not going to tell you how to play your game. It's your team. You've done the eye test. You've done the homework. And I can guarantee you the worst feeling as Supercoach is wanting to make a play, getting convinced to do something else, and then that play goes absolutely bonkers. So if you believe in Noble, go for Noble.
Agreed. Just quietly, how many rookies on field do you have?
I have 3. Yeah, I would have had 2 if I made an upgrade last week, but instead I moved TDK, and I'm going to be sidewaysing again this week. So the team was pretty close to 22 premiums, and I've been stalling it the last couple of weeks.
Can I ask who they are?
Okay, well, after trades, it's going to be Saad Al-Huli, Cleary, and Simpson.
Okay, yep. No, I was just wondering, because that's one thing that I noticed we didn't speak about is how many rookies we have left on field. I have 3 as well. Yes. Yep. So, interesting there. Sorry, just segue.
No, I felt pretty ahead of the pack. As I said, if I was upgrading last week, I would have been on 2. And if I was upgrading again this week, I would have been, down to 1. But I got stuck doing sideways because, injured players.
Yeah, no, I absolutely understood there, mate. Chi says, did Joshy possibly try to sabotage the stream because you guys were cooking without him? Yes, that's exactly what happened. So he will be docked this week's pay, and Team drop Thursdays it'll be interesting to say.
Yeah,
the
he
least.
was scared once DR saw that 2 people could do the job without him, that he would get fired. So
Yeah, absolutely. Supercoach Pro says Tommy Stewart. Ooh, yuck. Ew.
oh,
That's
who's that?
disgusting. I'd want to see 2 weeks of him actually doing something and not looking like a pleb. Yeah. Blitzen says thoughts on Noah Anderson coming off a 150 seems consistent, but probably has windy toe coming up. We've given our thoughts on Noah Anderson, haven't we?
Yep.
Pro says McRae and Finn, gone time. Time to get at least one pod. Wow. Thank goodness you're here, Verns. So, Pro, if you need a pod, hit Verns up after the stream. Come on. Aqua says, Verns, who is your absolute dirtiest pod pick? He was bantering Brad earlier and came up with Jack Crisp, and even at this point in season, Jake Soligo.
I mean, I own Jake Sligo, just so we're aware, guys. He is in my team. Just so we're aware.
You are a disgusting individual.
Oh, yeah. Had his beautiful 4-week start where he went bonkers, and then I brought him in, and he went 63, 70, 90, 60, 80, and finally got a 114 this week. You know, I really thought I was on this week. I had Saligo popping with the 114, had Finn Callahan with the 110. I was like, my pods are going off this week. I'm going to have a good week, but it didn't actually come through. Had a lot of bad rookies on field.
I love how you're surprised.
What do you mean?
It didn't come through.
Bro, to be fair, this was because I ended up fielding like Kako and stuff like that just were terrible. Obviously at JHS as well. Like,
it's disgusting.
Hey, those pods kept me up this week.
They did. All right, who's the dirtiest pod you can think of?
Oh man, I mean, look, I think right now it does have to be Tom Green, as in like.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, only 10% owned at the end of the day. So, like, I think technically it's 11%. So if we're going to count that, I think I'll give him the shout.
Perfect. Pro says that he doesn't plan his trades more than 2 weeks in a row, apart from buy planning. I mean, buys, I'm so scared to look at my buys. Aqua says when he shouted Crisp, he only started getting any remote CBAs 2 weeks ago, and look what he did, 171, and we beat Freo with our B team in that game, so it was fantastic. Verns, I'm glad you're back and well. By the way, I missed you. If you both could undo a trade you made earlier this season, what would it be? For me, it's going Humphrey over Marriage. Sad gerbil noises. Jesus, that's a good question.
Look, I'm in the same boat with there. Humphrey over Marek 100% would do that. But if I'm not choosing that one, it's going to be the Saligo trade-in. I'll be honest. It didn't work, especially on a week that I was considering Brayshaw as well. And yeah, don't want to talk about it.
I'm having a look at it now. They haven't been that bad. My primos that I've traded in have been crap. Like genuinely crap.
Yeah, I think there's probably like 3 weeks I can look at.
I mean,
bad
when
trades.
this is the week that's annoying. This would probably be the worst one. Out, Max Hall at 250k, Connor O'Sullivan at 306, and Bailey Humphrey at 340. The week before he put on 150. This is who I got in. Carroll, who is literally like dead because he's terrible. Newcomb, who's gone down in price. And Flynn, who I had to trade out again anyway.
Yep. I mean, look, I also did get rid of Reed super early. I don't know if you're still holding Reed, and if you guys are, then congrats.
I still have him. He's one of the rookies I've got on field.
Yeah, I got rid of him just over 3 weeks ago. So, I've missed how much money has he made in this time? Over 100k more. He got the 102, 133. So there's plenty of bad trades. The Humphrey one instead of Marek, Reed out of my team in the wrong week, Saligo in instead of Brayshaw. Once again, though, that also meant that I moved a dead rookie instead of a playing rookie. Saying that the playing rookie was Kako, who hasn't done anything. So, I mean, I would have been happy to have just kept a dead rookie instead of Kako.
Yeah, I get that, mate. Brad Brad, he's laughing at Brad, right? And here I am planning who I went round 16, 17. Mate, luck at that. A bit of Joel says, so many buys nowadays, though. If you're not prepared, you're cooked, mate.
I actually think they're easier now because they're so spread out now. You don't need as like there's less you need. Like when there was 3 buys and you were missing 6 teams each week, it was super painful if you stacked 1 buy. But now that there's 5, there's 4 teams each week. It's much easier to spread it out, so you can just actually ignore it more, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm just very surprised that you're going against your number 1 follower. Rookie Coach says, oh, isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? Go and like his YouTube channel. Simple. Subscribe. Do all that kind of stuff. Leave him a comment. Just, I don't know, interact with him. Honestly, it will greatly impact your life in a positive way. Luke Papa says, no boost tonight. JHF, McRae, Callahan, TDK. No boost. Should I go JHF and Calla to Sinclair and Simpson? Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Johnny Noble is only owned by 56 people in the top 5%. Well, go with him.
Look, they're the kind
that's
of
fantastic for him. I mean,
yeah, that's the kind of move
I'm not bringing him in. No way.
Well, I think just obviously Ak was bringing this up because he was considering Johnny Noble. And look, that's the kind of move that it can make a difference. At the end of the day, if he flops, you're the only guy flopping with this pick. So it's huge negative. But if he pops, you're the only guy popping. So, if you're happy, like biggest thing I've taken from picking pods, though, is you actually need to take the ownership percentage out of it. Would you be picking this guy irregardless of how many people owned him, sort of thing? If they're a good pick and they happen to be 3% owned, that's just a bonus. If they're a good pick and they're 40% owned, you shouldn't not pick them because they're 40% owned,
Yeah, so. Yep. Teo says, thoughts on Sam Walsh? Hope you're well, fella. Is this serious?
Yeah, he's really good in my keeper league. That's about all I got for you.
Walsh's price.
And even that, he's actually
513K for 100 average. Right, how many other players do you reckon we can find that are better than Walsh at that price?
A lot.
Really?
There's no way you worry about Walsh. There's actually a lot of players.
Here's one that's 30K cheaper, and his name's Adam Chera, who is a better midfielder than him. Give me Max Holmes instead. Give me Matt Kennedy as well. I'll even take LDU. Give me Josh Dacos as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going even 20K up, I know doesn't have to be under him. Let's assume you got an extra 20K in the bank. Will Ashcroft, 20K more expensive. Isaac Heaney, 20K more expensive. I think you said Holmes already. There's a lot of way better picks around him.
The best player that is at Walsh's price and cheaper? Have one guess.
Oh gosh. If it's not it's going to be Marek, isn't it?
Yes! We're on Vernsy. How's the chemistry? If you don't own Marek right now, I guarantee you he is top 6 forward. Easily. You take out that sub-effective game. I have no idea what the maths is, but 100%.
I'm too stubborn.
Lewis says, why shouldn't I trade Brayshaw in this week? Because his break-even is... What is it?
It's 125. Verns. It's not crazy high. It's okay. But you can probably afford to wait, especially considering he's got his buy coming up. If you wait this week, wait one more week.
636,000?
Yeah.
No.
I'm just saying, if you look at Brayshaw, though, do we think he's really going to be dropping in cash at the end of the day? I guess he's got this 150 that has to cycle out. So I guess if he goes, back to back, 110s, 115s, he'll still lose another 20, 30K. So fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I'm not paying that much. Verns, this is directed at you. What do you think of Took Miller?
Oh, I love Took. I love him. But yes, he did get screwed on that 100. Oh, the 99 dirty. Look, I love Took, and I'm so sad I've never actually owned Took. And once again, someone I was eyeing off earlier this season to own and then made other decisions. And yeah, it was the wrong decision. But I think I don't know if I'd feel comfortable going him. He's unfortunately just playing a lot of time forward. I think his last 2 games, he's had over about 40% CBAs, so it's a lot of time forward, and they have been winning these games Gold Coast. So you got to take that into account. If he's playing a large portion of his game forward, He's probably only scoring well in games that they're winning. How many more games do you think they're winning? Do you generally think they're a top 4 side? Yeah, a few variables to take into account. I think there's just better guys around that price. We mentioned Green earlier, Libba. So it's unfortunate for Took, but I love him, but I just think there's better picks.
I just got sent a tweet saying breaking, John Newcombe is set to have a stint on the sidelines after returning home from Darwin in a moon boot, and I'm 100% certain it was bait.
It is 100%, man.
If it's not, I swear to God, right? Team Shop Thursdays, whew, that's the day where you get cancelled.
Rage Trade Thursdays.
Aqua says, so with Vicentini, I really like him. As a Port fan, from what I can tell, he's infinitely better than Sweet, but I just don't feel good about taking a punt on 2 games. He's not got Flynn tier job security, in my opinion. Then don't.
Didn't have good chase.
Don't. If you're not set on something, don't. Do what Vern said before. Literally, if you're not set on something, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. They could be wrong. You could be right. That's not out of the realms of possibility. Jerv says, was Nath bricking the chat the worst thing he's done since calling Bo Allen a peanut? I called his performance on par as a peanut. My God. Oh,
yeah, speaking of peanuts, did you see Peanut Laddam's bicycle kick he went for on the weekend?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
No.
It's actually so funny. He could have just grabbed the ball, but we just know how this guy plays, and he just tries to bicycle kick it through. Would have been a sick goal, but he almost put it out on the full.
Well, that's probably like his kick that he had the other week. That summed his career up. Didn't it not?
Oh, he's so funny.
Oh.
He's entertaining.
Aqua says he's just clocked. If he sells Callahan and McRae, you can take the absolute peanuts and bring in R1, Gorn, and M1 with 1K to with Bond with 1K to. No, don't do that.
No,
don't do that.
Way.
You can't. No.
It's too much of a waste of money. We know the money crunch we're in right now. Like, if you're doing that, are you completing your team? And if you are completing your team, are you completing your team with like what Kitty Coleman at D6 or something? Like, it just nah, bro, don't do that.
Balupa, shout out to you, mate. He says he's got McRae, Nuke, and JHF. Newcombe will be fine. I'm telling you right now, it's precautionary. It's all good. Trust me, it will be fine. It's going to be okay. It's all right. At least I no longer regret trading Callahan, which are worth holding. Well, Newcombe, that's it, because he's going to be fine. And thoughts on Anderson, or if you could pick any 550k player right now, who would it be? Sinclair, Anderson's a shout. Clark, you could still jump on Bailey Dale, Zorko. I mean, there's a few. Sarong.
Yeah, they're all really good names. Obviously, we've gone Tom Green a million times as well. So, yeah, all really solid if you don't have those guys.
Or bank 50k and get Ryan Marriage. Simple as that. And bit of Joel says, Sandy Brock mentioned. Yes. Sandy Brock over Sardis all time. That's just absolute no. Sardis is the worst draft pick in Essendon's history, might battle to 50 games for his career. Mate, he's 100% a better player than Jesse Motlop, who has frauded his way to 50 career games, and I will stand on that hill until the cows come home. Also, Lokes, please tell me TDK is in this week. Please. Someone needs to put champion data in prison. We were grossly robbed of a Romo 200, had about 10 hitouts to advantage in the last 5 minutes and got nothing for it. That's scaling, my friends. That's scaling. Sardis over Poo in the draft, biggest blunder in that club's history. I mean, it might be, but St Kilda also took Jack Billings over Marcus Bontempelli, so you tell me who won there. McRae and Bice to Simpson, and who with 650k, any position, still wants some value though. Tom Green or Geordie Clark.
Yeah, I still think you have to go for those guys. Yeah, definitely Green. Green's my number one guy, but I love Clark too if you want to go for that. As you mentioned, Dale. There's so many good guys around that like 550 to like 500 price range. Yeah. Speaking of bad draft picks, real quickly though, what was the really bad Adelaide one? They got like Schoenberg or something, someone that's like delisted now at like 7, and then Freo at 8 and 9 took like Sarong and who's their midfielder that's injured? Oh man,
I have no idea.
Their midfielder who's injured, defensive midfielder used to.
Hayden Young.
Hayden Young, yeah. Then they took Sarong and Young straight after them, sort of thing. So,
mate, we go for Collingwood. I think the only time that we've had a top 10 pick that's actually looked okay that we've drafted ourselves is Matthew Schoenberg.
Tenderbury, sideboarding.
Oh, that's like 05, Verns. That's
I'm just
20
saying,
years
you said
ago.
anytime. You said anytime we've had a good. Yes, but you're right. Since then, honestly, all the players we get, we just trade in these players that are like Cuspes 22 and they come to our club and they just dominate. They get part of the system and they get it together.
Oh, especially. Oh, actually, no, it's not the next comment. Essendon draft picks is hardly a good combo, Logan. Zach Raid is the first round one pick since God knows when to actually look good, and his knees are made of glass. Yes. This is just straight disrespect. Ned Long, a genuine Timu James robot, but you got to respect. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Oh. Aqua says, Ned Long is not a Timu anything, you blasphemous liar. Ned Long is a 2025 Brownlow in waiting. That's a stretch. Ned Long is a carrier of my babies. That's a stretch. Ned Long is love. That's not a stretch. Ned Long is life. That's not a stretch. Ned Long is my VC this week. Actually, everyone should have Bailey Smith VC. Yes, Verns?
Yo, honestly, was really considering it, but I feel like there's a good chance. There's no way dogs let him run free, right? There is no way they don't put attention into him.
They will.
No way. After all the drama, they're going to be like, we don't care if we lose this game. We're going to break Bailey's knees. Like, come on. There's no way.
Oh. Verns, we're going to end this in 4 minutes, so we need to speed around this. All right.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
All right. Callahan to Green or Heaney? Green. McRae apparently being flown back to Melbourne tomorrow, was to be driven, but now on a flight. If he lives, hopefully only misses a week. Yeah, and I'm the Pope of England, mate. That's not going to happen. Not a chance. I don't know if England has a Pope, but I highly doubt it's going to happen anyway. Dalek, I'd like to trade out McRae, but I'm not in a position that I can afford additional trades. I'm probably just going to have to firm this for a bit. Use him as a loop, mate. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, boys, love your work. Thoughts on me going Lashcroft and Hewitt to Libba and Simpson? Verns, you just spoke about Libba. I give this a tick. The annoying thing about the chat/limit fast-paced chat is that you can't really unroll your whole scenario in one message, so it gets convoluted. Guess it takes a bit much sending Bible-level text. Mate, just summarize it. Simple. Come on. We're in 2025. Summaries. Primordial Quasar. I did the same with Verns on the timing of getting Soligo in and also started Green. I mean, another one that is a Soligo owner, my friend.
You're just saying Josh Giddey got Soligo too. We take it to the moon.
I have no idea what that means. I had absolutely no clue what I was doing when I first made trades. Sold Heaney for Dunkley because of the Sydney buy, I think. I think somehow I might not have been done mega dirty by it. I mean, that's a trade so far. Yeah, that's worked out well. He said he's also sold Max Hall on his bubble because I'm just brainless. Well, that is very brainless. Hey fellas, sorry I missed the last hour. McRae's lung must heal abnormally quick if it's a 1 weeker, or AI is just that good now. I don't need to comment on it anymore. I highly doubt he's missing 1 week. Camembert Cheese says this should be called Monday Night Review Crew. Stop sending me abusive DMs. I'm over it. It's very tantalizing and just hurts my soul. First, this is probably directed at you. You want a proper pod, a point of difference. Well, nobody has Justin McInerney. Not a single person in the top 10% has Chad's roll. 440K, of course, I'm joking, but funny too. It's just rubbish.
Yep.
This is genuine rubbish. That's your first warning. Didn't McInerney just get suspended? And yes, Aqua will get suspended if I keep reading tripe like that. McRae having a high break even gives me good incentive to buy back at a later date. Thank you. Jonas Goat says, irregardless is not a real word. It's just a double negative. What on earth does that have to do with Supercoach? Fair play. Play on. I didn't know that. Did I use irregardless or was that you?
I reckon I probably did. I definitely used that word.
I'm not intelligent enough to use that kind of word. Jimmy D, thoughts on Heaney? Want to go green but cook for round 16 buy. I love the Heaney shout.
Yep, do it.
I'm on the marriage train. Every smart individual is, my friend. Jerbs, given my rank is just within top 8K, which two would you bring out of Rankin, Marriage, Dunkley, Kennedy, Libba? Trying not to go over 550K so I can bang 170K for an odd for an upgrade next week. all jokes aside, not taking the PI55, it's Libba and Kennedy for me. If you don't like two from the same team, it's Marich and Libba.
Oh, I mean, but Libra and Kennedy going into the round 11 bye, like round 11 bye. That I don't like that. I don't know. I think I like Rankin and Dunkley personally.
Fair call. I like the variety. Scobes, RE Marich, his starting average of 98.8, well, let's just round that up to 100, would place him 9th overall. Top 8 are Baz, LJ, McRae, Rankin, Chad, Martin, Kennedy, and Track, who has an almost equal average. Yeah, but then when we go through this, like, who's got the better role here? I mean, Chad's just come good. Martin can't hit a barn door to save his life. Track's leaving Melbourne, so he's going to have nothing to play with. And again, he can't hit a barn door to save his life. Kennedy's a gun. Rankin, mate, I watch Rankin kick against the Pies. He's lucky if he knows what foot to use. McRae's dead. LJ's going to have Shrek come back. It's Marich 140 for the rest of the year. Simple. Not too late to buy into Ned long before the 130 this year. I knew I liked you, Hawksy. I knew I liked you. I'm sorry, Luke Jackson, who I am for. Oh, my God. Very good. Mickey Higginson wants to know about Tim Sims, thinking of having him on forward bench until around 13, where he's going to move him to R3, where he trades out Flynn, who he currently have at R3 to Bont. That's a good plan if it eventuates.
Yeah, only if you have Luke Jackson, I think, though. Someone that you can use to actually use the DPP, otherwise there's no point.
Yep. That's the same question. Of course, JHF moves ahead of Marich pending a successful return from injury. But yeah, Marich is in the echelon where it's not worth it when the difference between Chad, who is 5th, and him is 1.3 points per game. And you're not factoring in that Jason Horne-Francis is not going to score back-to-back 170s in the Seagull role for West Coast, are you? Balupa, L. Jackson's still worth it if Darcy is back? No. Verns, Green versus Anderson.
Green.
Yeah, I like that. Sardis should be made to play rugby for a year so he can learn how to tackle, then he can come back downhill skier. Yeah, well, maybe send your captain as well, Zach Merrick, because he's a bit of a pansy right now. I've watched him for a couple of weeks doing absolutely nothing. In saying that, he might be my captain if Bailey Smith does nothing. So, I mean, I might love him next week, but seeing 0 tackles in all seriousness from Merritt, who I rate very highly, my God, that was interesting. That's a response to Michael. Although with Green, I do want him just because I got a selfie with him last year and have thought about bringing him in as a pod all year. Well, do it, mate.
Well,
do it.
Once again, don't forget GWS best run for inside mids until the end of the season. So,
yeah, wonderful. I'll ask this one last question directly. If you had to pick one, who comes in? Sarong, Green, or Noah Anderson? I'm going Noah Anderson.
I'm going Green.
Yep, no, fair enough. I don't think you can go wrong with that. Brayshaw, Dacos, or Sinclair this week? Sinclair.
Agree. Yep.
Bolton this week. If you're going on Bolton, you need to go. But in my opinion, it's got to be in the flex. You can't have those scores have to be dropping out when they're terrible.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, as long as you're in the 23 premiums, his score's going to drop out if it's bad, and you'll get the good one. So, yeah, if you want to do it, do it.
Wonderful. Aqua says, have a great night, you two, and a great week. We'll keep my eyes peeled for JG on the sword play injury list for whether we should hold or trade. Yes, and the reason for injury is because Cheese belted him behind the Dandenong Maccas, so that was terrible. I joke. That'll only happen if he doesn't turn up to Team Drop Thursdays. Hawksy says, I'm totally keen to have Long sit at M8 as the very last upgrade. Yep. Perfect. Yep, I'm with you. Lockie Spiteri, shout out to you, mate. It's always good to have you around here. As an Essendon fan, I'm telling you, Brad Scott is ruining Merritt, rolling him deep forward when he gets attention. Feels like he doesn't want him in the guts all the time. I agree. I mean, your club's best midfielder is rolling around in the twos, having 40 and kicking snags. So, shout out to you, Elijah Sardis. What a dream it was. Verns, is there anything else to add?
No, I think we covered it pretty well. So, yeah, seems like good to me.
Quick one. Who's your VC&C?
Oh, look, I'm actually thinking Whitfield into Cherry. But, Baz into Cherry was the other consideration. But I think Whitfield into Cherry.
That is so naughty. I love it. I cannot wait to own Whitfield next week. I'm going to be so happy. It doesn't even matter what I score because I just know that next week I'm going to see Elle Whitfield, and it's going to be the right time. It's perfect. Thank you to everyone that joined us for the second stream of the night after YouTube tried to take us down. They said, we don't want you here. We said, no way. We are here for every day of the week. I joke. We're only here for Rage Trade Mondays, Team Drop Thursdays. And also, don't forget to check out the Stock Market Podcast. DR does such a good job on that. The official Swordplay podcast as well. They do so much in there. Sometimes it goes for literally hours and they cover everything. As I said before, check out the Third Man Up Boys rookie data dump and the captaincy options. Check out the website. We're done, Verns. We're finished. Where can the listeners find you?
Yep. Once again, just on X, just Verns_SC or at Verns Supercoach on YouTube.
Wonderful. If you need to get stuck into me for anything I've said tonight, like calling Zach Merritt a pansy, you know where to find me at Scobie__ on X. Have a great evening. I'll be back Thursday night. Hopefully Joshy's recovered from his whatever's wrong with him and he'll be able to do Team Drop Thursdays with me. If not, I'm sure we'll have someone better to replace him anyway. Enjoy. See you then and have a wonderful week.